afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the People's Pension Stadium. Normally, at this part of the show, we start off with a cheesy rhyme or to get us underway. This week, we wanted to pay tribute to a Harrogate Town legend, someone who has been around the club for many decades, chaired the club for nearly 15 years, and was part of many ups and downs during his time. Sadly, yesterday, Vic Marley passed away, and he made an enormous contribution to the club. Many Reds fans who have followed over the past 20 to 30 years will be very familiar with the name Vic Marley and obviously the face. The sort of person who would come onto the terrace. I can remember as a kid, Vic coming onto the terrace to shake hands with the fans. He basically was a fan. Everybody here at Harrogate Town was really saddened to hear of the passing of Vic. Those who have been around the club in most recent years will know him from his time as chair of the trustees of the Community Foundation here at the club, something which he did for a number of years up until very recently. From everybody here at the club, we send our best wishes to his family and friends, people who were close to Vic. I know the supporters have really felt it, and we've not seen a reaction like that in a long time. So from everybody here at Harrogate Town Football Club, Vic Marley, rest in peace. Yes, welcome to the People's Pension Stadium, where the Reds take on Harrogate Town this afternoon. Obviously, earlier in the season, we travelled to the northeast of Yorkshire and got a 1-1 draw with Harrogate stealing a point from the Reds, I would say, in the last few minutes from a long throw. Glenn and Stuart are out behind us working with Dean, the goalkeeper coach, and I'm sure the rest of the squad will be following them very shortly. The game kicks off in just under an hour's time. As always, season ticket holders can watch the game free of charge. And people can buy it from iFollow.
In your heart, in spirit, in soul, you make every tackle, score every goal. You're part of it, wherever you are in the world. From the first minute until the last kick. Victories, heartbreaks, you're part of the fabric, the passion, devotion, supercharging emotion. For you, there is only one. Abiding loyalty, togetherness that is second to none. Follow every kick, every tackle, every goal. With access to live stream games and matchday commentary, with coverage spanning the globe. Behind the scene content, newsletters and match highlights. There is no better way for you to get closer to your club. And with iFollow sales supporting them, there's no better way to show your love. When you can't be there with iFollow.
Yeah, so if you are not a season ticket holder, make sure you pay your £10, get that iFollow code. That money does go to the club, supports the club. Rather than buying your ticket when you normally come to the game, you can still support, of course, on iFollow. Everybody at home, as we say every week, Ballers will be back open. Our matchday offer for a burger, chips and a drink for just £5 is available on collection. That goes on into the evening as well. So if you want to come down to the club to grab that offer, please do. If you can't get down to the club, Just Eat and Uber Eats, you can get on there as well. I'm joined once again on Talk of the Town by Harry Maynard.
Afternoon.
Hopefully a stronger episode than Tuesday nights.
You give this front that it was a bad episode, but we all know the messages you were sending when you rewatched it later that evening so just how good it was.
It was one of those from behind the scenes. There was all sorts going on, and actually when you watch it back, it comes up. But it's because we're obviously great pros, Harry. That's
exactly, and the audience never knew what was actually going on. And hopefully this afternoon, when the shooting practice goes ahead, the players are a little bit more accurate, and we're not dodging footballs over our heads, but we're still a little bit close to the goal. I'm not sure our astute team of producers were able to move our stage further down the terrace and out of sight.
Coming up on the show, very shortly we'll be bringing you the team news. We'll be taking a look back at Tuesday night's game. We'll also have a look back at how we got on against Harrogate earlier in the season. We'll have somebody coming over. I'm not sure who, whether it's going to be Erdem or Tom, maybe even Salim. They'll be coming over to tell us what's been going on behind the scenes at the club. And hopefully we'll have somebody on from Harrogate as well. Sam Gadsden will be going through the player of the month and the goal of the month competitions, which I believe have been run on Twitter. And then you'll have the usual nonsense from Harry and myself. First, let's take a look back, as promised, on Tuesday night's game at home here to Leyton Orient. Let's take a look now at today's team news. The team news each week is brought to you by our main sponsor here on Talk of the Town, Mr. D Clutter, who are doing an offer for Reds fans this week. Can I get an ooh? No, not really.
Come on.
Come on, guys. The sponsors, they're paying for this. So, yes, Mr. D Clutter do an offer to Reds fans of Talk of the Town, 20% off on garage clearances. If you're looking at a garage which is full of clutter that you want to get it cleared out, speak to those guys, Mr. D Clutter, and they will give you a 20% off. You just need to quote Crawley Town FC to access that discount. I know a few of you guys have supported already, Mr. D Clutter, so huge thanks to those of you who are using the people who are supporting us. By supporting them, they will continue to support us. I used the word support a lot there, didn't I? Thanks for your support, Harry Maynard.
Brilliant.
Team news. Firstly, I'll give you the Harrogate team news. I think the big news, positive for Reds, a little bit similar to Tuesday night, who obviously Leyton Orient without Danny Johnson, their top scorer. Harrogate without Jack Muldoon today. They line up with James Belshaw, Josh Falkenham, Will Smith. Interesting. Will Smith.
Great name.
I was trying to think of a pun. They didn't think of a pun quick enough, but there you go. Probably fresh.
Yeah, something like that.
Didn't work, did it? Warren Burrell, George Thompson, Aaron Martin, Connor Hall, Edward Francis, Josh March, Josh McPake, and Simon Power. How are you going to give us the Crawley team news?
Yeah, it's all in the head again, hopefully. I think it's just a couple of changes for the Reds, predominantly at the back. So Morris in goal. Tunnicliffe drops out with a knock. Dallison drops to the bench. So a back four of Frankham, McNerney coming in, Craig, Mark Wright, three in the middle, Josh Wright, Hesson Tyler, Powell, and then the more advanced three of Nichols, Matthews, and Naddison.
So yeah, I mean, as you touched upon there, the big news is at the back. Obviously, Jordan Tunnicliffe, we assumed out with injury. He went off injured.
His first name on the team sheet, isn't it? I think when he's fit, and we saw he's been through the wars. Obviously, he had the headband on again the other night, as well as going down with a knock as well. So maybe if anyone needs a break,
we assume it's a knock on from that game that that he misses out. Interesting, Mark Wright comes in. I know that'll be a big talking point for many people, but I'm very much reserving judgment. We've not really seen a lot of him. Obviously, we saw him very briefly in the Leeds game, but he comes in for a start today. I imagine him, like, he'll be buzzing, and it'll be a really big game for him personally.
Exactly, and he might actually play better under a little bit of pressure. I think that a lot of people will look at this online. It is fair to say, and just completely just scratch it off and say it's not right. Pardon the pun. But I think you trust in what Crawley have been doing here, and I think I can do it, and you can probably assure it as well that if Bradbury didn't think he should be there, he wouldn't be playing there. Everyone here trusts him to come in and do a job, and Joe McNerney's coming in as well into that back line. So McNerney, Craigs, the two centre halves, plenty of experience. He's got his brother playing in front of him as well, so I think he's in a good condition to go out there and put in a good shift.
Yeah, one thing I think that seems to be widely accepted by people who have watched Soccer Aid, people who have seen, people who are at Reading, where he played against Reading under 23s over at Three Bridges. He does have a good ball into the box, doesn't he? And I wonder if that's the thinking. It was frustrating on Tuesday night. Leighton Orient, very defensive, sat very deep, which is understandable given that they went down to 10 men so early on. We seemed to struggle to unlock that defence, didn't we? And maybe we're looking at it and going, okay, Mark Wright maybe offered something a little bit more quality into the box, which maybe Tom Dallison is more of a defensive fullback. Maybe that is the thinking. It could work out to be a masterstroke.
Yeah, completely. And I think it's a fair point. I think Tom would probably be the first player to say that, okay, maybe he's a centre back by trade. To see him bombing on down the left flank, probably a little bit unnatural to him as well. Mark comes in, it's probably more familiar for him to be coming in and doing that. And I think we maybe struggled on Tuesday when they went down to 10 men. They just sat in, and I think it's hard for Naddison. And Naddison doesn't have his best games when teams have got their backs up against the walls. We need a team to sort of try and play up against us, and you can release Naddison over the top. And like you said, if we've got players in with the quality to find that pass, then it can only be a positive.
Yeah, and I thought I don't know, but I could well be wrong here, but I saw quite a bit of criticism online, and a few people sort of saying, oh, well, here we go again. And I was thinking about it. We had a really good run. I think we sort of went 8-10 games unbeaten. We had a really great one. We beat Leeds at home. We then had a couple of weeks break. We've then gone to Bournemouth, which obviously is a free hit, isn't it? Like going to the Championship side away from home in the FA Cup. Only just got beaten. Yeah. We then go away to top of the league, Cambridge United, and we're in that game up until late on.
Very questionable pitch.
Yeah, the pitch. Yeah, exactly. But they're top of the league for a reason. We then played Leighton Orient at home. We knocked on the door pretty much for 90 minutes.
They're above us in the league as well.
They are above us in the league. So I think there seems to be a little bit of negativity around social media in particular, and I think, come on, it's not that bad, is it?
Tom Nichols has hit the bar from a penalty. So do you know what I mean? You're a lick of paint away from walking away from that game, going, didn't play great, but we've got a good ground out 3 points. You know what I mean? It's such a fine margin in football, and at the end of the day, it's points on the board. It's not back-to-back losses or anything like that. We knew we had the home game against Harrogate, which on paper is a little bit more of a friendly game, that we can come, and then 4 points from the 2 home games in the week. I don't think there can be too many fans that can argue that's not a great return. I think
that's it.
If you just get 4 points from your 2 games every week, you could be quite happy.
I suppose, having said that, playing Harrogate at home today, Harrogate are a team who obviously got promoted last year. Often the teams that get promoted sort of seem to be almost flying up the top of the league. I think for 2 things. Firstly, it's a sign of the strength of the league this year, of how really there's a lot of teams who will be going, we're looking for the playoffs. So they're not looking over their shoulders about staying up. I think more teams in the league are looking at trying to go up than they are going down, because it is so strong. And teams who traditionally have not been great, like I suppose like us, Cambridge, Carlisle, they're all at the top end of the league. So I think the league is hard. And also Harrogate and Barrow, not sure they're as strong as some, like the Salfords when we came up 10 years ago. Maybe they're not quite as strong. This is the sort of game really where we probably need to be picking up 3 points if we're really being ambitious. Yeah,
I think that's fair to say. And I think it's kind of one of few times where we get in a season where when we go away to a lot of clubs, they see Crawley at home as a fixture they should be getting 3 points at. And with Harrogate coming up, who maybe are a slightly smaller club than us, which is a rare thing for us to be playing in the league against a smaller club, we're actually now looking at the fixture going, we should be getting 3 points. So normally we're used to being sort of written off a little bit early, but today actually we can hopefully thrive under the pressure of being favourites and actually taking the game to Harrogate and putting in a good performance, and we go away to Carlisle next week, who are right up the top end of the table, as you say. So we need to get some points on the board to have a bit of confidence going into that.
But we were saying just before we come in here, we've got some disgusting away trips.
It's horrible.
Like the next 6 is like away to Carlisle.
The coach driver's earning his money over the next few weeks.
Horrific journeys. We did Harrogate, also a blooming long way. I don't think you come early in the season.
Didn't come to Harrogate.
We actually played quite well up there.
It
was a tricky pitch. Like, they just had it relayed, hadn't
from
they?
From their 3G last season,
3G to the pitch. Very firm, but like awkward pitch. Reminds a little bit of Newport Counties a few years back. Very bouncy and very very peculiar. We won. We did well that game. We probably should have won the game. Max Waters had a couple of chances, and we didn't quite kill the game off, and we were punished for that with a sort of long throw into the box. And I think that's probably one game where we'd look back on and go, do you know what, we lost 2 points there, and hopefully that doesn't happen today. Yeah,
and it wasn't soon after that we actually, the good form, so to speak, actually started to kick in. So again, yes, we can say, we should be coming away from there with 3. We didn't actually, like you said, we didn't actually play too badly on that day. But again, in seasons gone by, do we go on to lose those kind of games? At the back of my mind, I probably think we do. I think we're a much tougher side to beat now, and going away to a lot of teams will get beaten at Harrogate. It's not the easiest of places to go, like the pitch and the way the ground is. It's not a very imposing ground or anything like that. It feels very much like a non-league ground. So like I said, the sides that go there and get beat, we went there, got a point, and again, if you can get points on your away games, you're always going to be happy.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see the general manager Tom Allman on his way around. You've heard a little bit there from Harry and myself about our thoughts on the recent weeks and events. We'll hear from Tom about what's been going on very shortly. But first, let's hear from Lee Bradbury in his pre-match interview earlier this week.
Lee, thanks for talking to us. We face Harrogate on Saturday. Your thoughts heading into that one?
Yeah, it's another home game. To be honest, I think we haven't been ourselves the last couple of games. But, obviously we had the COVID strike us and then the Bournemouth game. But, that's gone. We've now had sort of 10 days back at it and a couple of games to get out of our systems. And we've had a good few days training and started to implement what got us success in the first place and what we're going to get back to. So yeah, we're looking forward to the game and hopefully we can get 3 points.
We've just crossed the halfway point of the season. How would you summarise the first half?
Yeah, I think it's been a good season so far. You look at where we are on the table with a couple of games in hand. We've been in the playoffs. That hasn't happened for quite a long time at the club, I don't think. So, obviously we've had good personnel move on in Max, which was a good sell for the club, and hopefully will help us in the long run going forwards. We're looking to produce players here, give lads second chances, and move up the league at the same time. And so far, it's been good. We've been enjoying it. It's been a good place to be. The lads have all been buzzing, and hopefully we can eradicate the last couple of performances and results by getting 3 points and winning the game against Harrogate.
And obviously, as you said, we've had a few difficult periods this season. Lack of fans, the COVID coming through the club, but we've still managed to create so many memorable performances. Bringing leads and then bolting away into the mix as well.
Yeah, exactly. I think everyone goes on about the Leeds game. Listen, it was a fantastic result, fantastic performance. The lads were brilliant, but I think we learnt more about ourselves at Torquay. We didn't give up. We kept going. With 2 goals down with 5 minutes to go, we get back to 5-0, and then when it's 6-5, the last kick of the game, it's like an amazing game to be involved in, and one we probably won't be involved in again in our lifetime. So I think that said a lot about the group and gave us the belief to go on and compete against your bigger teams like your Bournemouths and your Leeds in the FA Cup. But this is our bread and butter, the league, and that's what we'll be judged on ultimately. And we want to improve the club as a management team, and that means getting in and around the playoffs. We believe we can get in the playoffs. We've got games in hand, and we've got to get back to what we do best, which is working hard, being on the front foot, pressing teams, being ruthless at both ends of the pitch in both boxes. And if we do that, then we're a threat for anyone, as we've shown.
Obviously, against Orient, we saw Jake Hessenthaler sort of move out a little bit wider, obviously, because now we've got Josh Wright putting in some really solid performances. Jake seems like the sort of player that you tell him somewhere to play and he'll just do the job, like a really sensible player.
Yeah, he is. He understands the game, obviously from a football background with his dad, etc. But he understands the game and he's willing to play anywhere. But that's not ideally where he wants to play. But he's willing to do that for the team, like you said. But but we've got other wingers now available and fit that have trained well the last couple of days. So we want to be aggressive at home and make sure that we can, like I say, try and get the big 3 points on offer. And Harrogate are going to be a tough team to play against. They're direct, they're strong, they're quick, they're good at set pieces. And they'll be fighting for their lives to stay in the league this year.
You mentioned a couple of new wingers. How have the new lads like James Tilley and Jordan Gardner settled in?
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I think they've come in, they've added that little bit of competition for places in wide areas. Both very good with the ball, both got ability, can make things happen, score goals. And we're at home ultimately, so we need to make sure that we can be a threat in the game, but without being too open. So, obviously the manager Yemzi will make the decision on the team, and we'll go from there. But so far, I think everyone's been given a fair chance, and nobody can have any grumbles at this moment in time.
Cheers, Lee. Best of luck.
Cheers, thank you.
Yeah, we're joined now by the general manager, Tom Allman. But lots going on, hasn't there, over the last few weeks?
Hectic, yeah. I think that's the word of the last few weeks and months. Yeah.
Every week is hectic at the moment. I think with so many games. I'm certainly feeling it like it feels like there's a game literally every few days. I suppose there is, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, we were looking at we've got them chalked up on the whiteboard in the office, and yeah, every game that goes by is scraping them off. And yeah, we've got, including Brighton ladies games, we've got five games here at the stadium alone this month. So obviously then you tie in all the away games and the long away games of that. Yeah, it's. I
know. Ben's always really pleased when a rearranged game gets chucked into an already busy Bender groundsman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, and we were saying, obviously the weather's going to be taking a bit of a turn this week, and he's going, oh well, and another postponed game, and there's been.
Talk us through that process. So something that's just sort of come to mind. Hadn't planned it, but it's something that people might find interesting.
You don't say not planned.
Yeah, no, we
that's
planned
what
it,
normally
so
happens.
All about it. How does it work when a game gets? Explain to people when a game gets postponed. For example, we've had Stevenage and Bradford, haven't we? Postponed. Yeah. Is it a bit of a negotiation between the two clubs? Is it a case of the football league saying you're playing here? How do you determine when the game is replayed?
Normally, it's fairly straightforward in the sense that in a normal season, you sort of be left between the two clubs to arrange a new time. Obviously, this year where you're playing a game what feels like basically every other day, you're a bit more bound to sort of what the Football League tell you. So, I mean, for example, that Stevenage game, obviously we had to rearrange that because of the COVID outbreak. Stevenage weren't that keen on playing it anytime particularly soon because, like everyone's got games at the moment. The Football League basically turned around to them and said, look, that week we've got a spare Tuesday. It's being played on that Tuesday. Yeah, like there's a spare Tuesday. You've got to make the most of it. So, for us, it's a home game. I think it'd be a bit different if it was us going up to Barrow or Carlisle and they were saying, not bothered, you've got to play on a Tuesday. But it's just one of those things. I think this season's a first case season for a lot of things. So
Got to get on with it.
Nothing. Yeah, it's just one of them.
Yeah, and it's similar to that in terms of how busy the fixture schedule is. We've got an awful lot of long away games coming up thick and fast. Maybe chat a little bit about the process of how the planning ahead comes into it. The hotels during a pandemic, the travelling during the pandemic. It's not easy, and for a small group in the office, there's a lot that needs planned, and when things are changing last minute, it's a nightmare almost to get everything sorted.
Exactly. I mean, it's the standard. I think this season the aim of the game has been just preparation. All you can do is prepare as best as you can, and as we found with COVID across the board, forgetting football, you just got to see what happens and take it as it comes. Obviously when the fixtures come out, the first ones you look at are sort of your Christmas and Boxing Day, and then as we all know, you then look at when are we going to Carlisle, when are we going to Barrow, and then you look at it and say that it's not New Year's Day or Boxing Day, and then you go right, and then you start planning. So it's one of those things, Claire and the management team, playing wise, have all got their plans for what they want to do, and you just got to take it as it comes, really.
And I was thinking the other day, we'll do it. It's a segment. We'll add it into the show here and now. Planned. If the season was you were grading it as a school teacher, right? What grade would you give it? Like so for
at this moment in time,
A+, up to now. The season's gone so far, taking everything into account, cups, leagues, everything, the squad. Where would you grade it?
I'd say at this moment in time, I'd say it's probably a solid B.
Yeah,
I'd say slightly
B+.
B+, yeah.
Whoa, B+.
B+,
Right.
yeah. B+ if you want to go. Yeah, I mean, we were saying in the office, obviously the last two games have been disappointing, not only results-wise, but I think as everyone would say, we just haven't quite been there performance-wise. But, we were coming away from that game Tuesday, and we all had the conversation of, how many years before have we come away from games going, how and the first thing you do is rush to Sky Sports News, look at the table, and you go, and you're looking over your shoulder.
How Carlisle getting on? How Yeovil getting on?
Exactly. And we come away from Tuesday night, and we've got a point against the team that are above us in the table, and we've moved up to 11th place.
Yeah, and are really disappointed we didn't get through that mentality.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so rather than looking over our shoulder, we're going, like the gap to the top three's like gone up a bit, but we're 11th. Got a great chance today. We've still got games in hand, and again, if you said to me, I think that was the Orient game was the first game in the second half of the season. So I think if you said to me, I think you said to anyone sort of at the club, fans wise, if you said going into the second half of the season, you're 11th, you've beaten Leeds in the third round of the FA Cup, you got to the fourth round,
you got games in hand,
and importantly, I know it's a bit of a cliche at the moment, still here as a club.
Yeah.
I think B plus, I would say. Good shout.
I'd agree with that, and I think. There's definitely potential for that to slide into the realms of an A. Don't get me wrong. I think a lot of fans will just want to see this season that we don't slip and we don't plateau off at the end of the season. If we can be, I always say this, and Joe's probably similar. If we can have 5 games to go, and even if we're 6 or 7 points off the playoffs, do you know what I mean? Give me a slither of hope, and I'll jump on it. That's the position you want to be, and we haven't been in that position.
Yeah, it's like I said at the start of the show. Like it seems that. Look, seems to be a little bit of negativity creeping in on social media. Come on, Reds fans. Like, we're doing all right. And if you don't agree with me, come at me on Twitter. I'll see you there. I won't reply. It's my son's birthday today. I'll be eating chicken goujons. But
it's at Joe Comper.
At Joe
Comper.
I'll see you on the socials. No, it's easy. I think, come on, a bit of negativity, actually. It's not been that bad, and we can go. COVID. I know everyone's bored of COVID, but let's talk about it. We're now gone to testing twice a week, haven't we? And we're constantly adapting what we're doing and changing to make sure we're as safe an environment as we can be.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we did have the outbreak. It's one of those things. All our protocols have all been signed off by, the relevant health parties, and I can assure fans there are a lot of relevant parties. Obviously, we had the outbreak. I think it was confirmed. Was it last Monday or the Monday before that? Whenever it was, all days emerging into one at the moment. But, that Monday night, we had our plan of action in place. Spoke to the FA, the Football League. Obviously, we had the game against Stevenage on the Tuesday. The day after we had the outbreak, the stadium was deep cleaned, the training ground was deep cleaned. And then, we were tested on that following Friday and then again on the Sunday. So I think in the space of the week from where we had the outbreak, Harry, the physio team, Luke, everyone, I think we'd completed some sort of over 200 tests. Pleased to say that obviously we were back for the Bournemouth game, and we're doing the twice weekly testing for the players, as you know, and at the moment we're zero positive cases, so we're back to
HMSM sales on.
HMSM sales on.
Yes.
We've introduced the twice weekly testing for the HM. Yeah, we've introduced the twice weekly testing for all the operational staff as well. Obviously at an additional cost to the club. So we're
doing what we can.
HMSMs will be setting sail, as you say.
Yes, we sail on.
We sail on.
I said at the start of the show, Mr. Declutter, our main sponsor here of Talk of the Town, are doing 20% off garage clearances. If you have a garage, if you need it cleared, Mr. Declutter are your people. 20% off. Quote Crawley Town Football Club to get that offer. Tom, thank you very much for joining us. Celine Gagezus is going to be joining us. The one and only is going to be joining us after we take a quick look back at how the Reds got on when they travelled to Harrogate early in the season. Welcome back. We are joined now by Managing Director Salim Gags. It's the first time on Talk of the Town, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Thank you, baby.
Salim, obviously, you watch not just Crawley, you watch a lot of football, a lot of the lower league football. We asked Tom just before how he rated the season. How do you rate our season so far?
Yeah, obviously, despite the COVID and everything, I think we've done really well, and thank you for everyone who supported the club. To yourselves and everyone, so it really means a lot for this club. Obviously, normal circumstances when there isn't the COVID stance, but we're not as powerful regarding fans base, compared to other teams. But like I said, I think everyone's done really well to keep the club going, and thank you once again for everyone's support on it. Fantastic.
Tell us a little bit more about the role that you're doing with the club at the moment, because I know the Erdem's kind of stepped more into the public eye now, and you've kind of gone back, but you're still very much involved in the setup.
Well, obviously, I've always, it's been 5 years since we've been here, and myself, I've been in, like commercial side as well, so I've seen a lot, and me and Erdem together, obviously, we're like family, I say, in a way where there isn't, if I've got told to do something, or we would always do it for the club.
Yeah.
So at the moment, obviously, I can't say I've been, because of the COVID, I live like quite far away, so I haven't been as much involved in it. But obviously, there is some things where I still care for the club as always, and if I see something that needs to be doing, or I would be more than happy to do whatever needs to. For the club, I'll do it as much as I can, to be honest.
Yeah, that's it. Well, one thing we need you to do now, Salim, is the CTSA
Sure.
Reds rollover draw. Nick the Geordie is going to be holding the pull string bag. Go on, dip your hand in,
Sorry,
Salim.
mate.
I've got the list here. The first prize for £66. Prize number 1 is number...
Can I pick it up now?
Yeah, go on.
Good luck, everyone.
42.
Joke on.
I've got here Dud Brown. Dud Brown, congratulations to you. £66. Clickety-click. £66 in your pocket. Prize number 2 is 33. Go on, £33. Not number 33. Sorry if you're number 33. Not you. It's £33, I meant. Number 12 is Rees Hopcraft. Congratulations to you, Rees. You have picked up £33 as second prize. Third prize, another one, Salim. 2 executive area tickets. Once we're back up and running and get crowds in, 2 executive area tickets goes to number
33.
33! Unbelievable! You can't make this up. 33. You have won a prize. Paul Vinson. It's not the cash prize, but even better. 2 executive tickets to you. Congratulations to Paul. And the final prize, 4th prize, signed memorabilia. It'd be a signed programme or something like that, provided by the commercial manager here at Crawley Town Football Club. 27... Jay McWalters. Big Jay. He wins every week, I'm sure.
Time.
Every week. Jay, congratulations to you. A signed programme is on your way. I'm sure he's a nice bloke, Jay. He'll give it away. He'll raffle it off. We know what he's doing. But you had a bit of a pressure then. Well done to you. Well done to all 4 of you for your winning your prizes here today. Salim, thank you very much for joining us.
Well.
Thank you.
Good to see you. We haven't seen you for a while. So nice to catch up. I'm sure we'll catch up very shortly.
Nice
Coming up on the show, we will have someone from Harrogate here to have a chat with us about how their season is going. But first, let's take a look at an advert from the People's Pension.
2017, £30 million has been lost to pension scammers. That's about 26,000 Premier League season tickets. During these uncertain times, it's more important than ever to defend your hard-earned money. Be on the ball to anyone contacting you out of the blue. Find out more about pension scams and how to avoid them by visiting our website.
Yeah, welcome back. We are joined now by Hal. Hal's a very tall man, aren't you? Hal? Sort of like I've already been getting battered. Someone's saying I look like I'm about to do some gardening, and now I look really short stood next to Hal. How's the media manager at Harrogate Town? Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. Looking forward to today's game. Thanks for having me on.
Well, good. I've got to be honest. I hope you don't enjoy it too much. Tell us about Harrogate. Obviously, you're promoted into the league. But when I went up there, I got the impression it was a club who was trying to grow and trying to catch up with its league status, really. How have things been going up there? How have you found adjusting to the Football League?
Really well. I think it's we've had a rapid rise, like you say. Only 3 seasons ago we were in the National League North after spending best part of 10 years, if not more, at that level. Only 2 years spent at National League, so we took some time adjusting to that league, but finished in the top 7 both times. On the pitch, we've adjusted really quickly. Off the pitch, we're still getting there, but it's great to come to clubs like this and enjoy new grounds.
Yeah, and have you found it? The standard is a lot higher. I always thought we touched on this earlier in the show actually. That it used to be to me the teams who come out of the National League into League Two seem to go flying up, but now League Two seems really strong this year. Have you found the difference in levels?
I believe no team's ever gone down at the first attempt. I'm sure I read that stat on the way up, so I was thinking, we do really well. And while I've been impressed with our performances, like you say, it is a strong league, and we find ourselves 20th, but I think we're the same points away from the drop zone as we are from the playoffs.
Right,
so
a
run of results.
Barrow in the same boat as well.
Exactly, yeah. So I think the biggest difference I've found is you've got to take your chances at this level. We've been in games where we've had 1 or 2 really good chances, missed them and been punished, whereas in the National League you maybe wouldn't get punished quite as much.
Right.
You've got the father-son duo through the club in manager and chairman. Does that kind of epitomise how the club's running, that small kind of family feel to it?
Yeah, it does, yeah. I think that transmits all the way down through the club. We're a very community-focused club, so we're trying to get our name out there within Harrogate and help local people. When we had the 3G pitch last season, up until we got promoted, we had walking football on the pitch, ladies teams on the pitch, juniors from age 4 up to about 17, all training on the pitch. So it was a real community hub, and having the father-son combination right at the top of the club just emphasises that, really.
Yeah, fantastic. And you spoke there about you've got to take your chances in the league. One person who has taken their chances for you is Jack Muldoon.
Yes.
He's on the bench today. He's been sort of struggling with injury, I understand. How big of a miss is that?
I don't think it's too much injury, more the fact he's just being rested.
Right.
Just speaking to the gaffer before kick-off, he said he's the only real player who hasn't had a period out the side. Okay. And I think in January we brought in 7 new players. One of them was Josh March, who's really hit the ground running. He's got 2 goals already since joining from Forest Green. So Muldoon's having a little bit of a break. It's not much to do with his drop in performance.
We said earlier on the show, there's been a lot of games, hasn't there?
Yeah, there has, and they're only going to get more. I think we've got 2 a week from now until the end of the season, so you've got to get those rest periods in, and March has formed a decent-looking partnership with Martin up top.
And obviously staying on the pitch, obviously one area that fans are going to be looking into this now is with Mark Wright starting for Crawley, and there's going to be a little bit of a storyline around that. But from Harrogate's angle, who's going to be the man up against him, and where should fans look for where that's going to develop?
It looks like it's going to be Simon Power, our new right winger, and we've not seen too much of him yet. I think he's only played 1 full match, but the early signs are that he's promising, and I think speaking to a few of your media staff, they're a bit worried about his pace because that's the reputation he's got. He's a really quick player, so that's got to be the game plan from our point of view. See what Mark Wright's all about. Obviously, it's his Football League debut quite late into his football career, so if we can get the ball to Simon Power and get him running at him, we might have a little bit of joy.
Yeah, and so finally, before we bring on Sam from our media team, what are you expecting to happen today? What's your score prediction?
I'm going to go optimistic. I'm going to go 2-1 Town. I think our away form this year, we've gone away to Exeter and won. We've had some real good performances on the road, so hopefully that'll continue today from my point of view.
We await a guest coming on and tipping up a Crawley win.
We did have a guy from Morecambe. I think we're going to lose today.
I won't have a job if I say that.
Come a long way for that. Hal, thank you very much for joining us. If you could pass your mic over to Sam from our media partner, he's going to come on and talk about the player of the round, player of the month and goal of the month. Before, whilst we're waiting for Sam to join us, come on, Sam.
Sorry.
Let's go through that lineup one more time from memory without reading. Glenn Morris starts in goal. George Frankham at right back. Mark Wright starts at left back. In the middle is Joe McNerney and Tony Craig. In midfield is Jake Hessenthaler, Jake Wright and Josh Wright and Jack Powell. Got Jay's in there. And then sort of playing further forward, Sam Matthews, Tom Nichols and Ashley Naderson. Now, you didn't remember any like you did last week, Harry.
It's always up there.
Sam, thank you very much for joining us. Obviously, you've been running our Player of the Month and Goal of the Month competitions for January. Balls are about to start flying in, so you've
Danny
joined us
Bullman's
at a
giving
lovely
us the eye as well.
Yeah, Danny Bullman. Every time he looks at us, he did say, I'm pinging at least one of those. So talk us through initially the Player of the Month.
Yeah, so Player of the Month, we had obviously 4 nominations: Glenn Morris, Tom Dallison, Tom Nichols and Jordan Tunnicliffe. So 4 deserved winners. Unfortunately, 2 of them aren't in the side today, so it's a little bit awkward. Obviously, Dallison drops to the bench and Tunny obviously suffered an injury against Leyton Orient. But yeah, 4 very worthy.
Who would have been your pick?
For me, Glenn, for me, he's just been insane, and the amount of I'm so scared. the amount of like points he's saved us. has just been ridiculous. But second, very closely, would probably be Tom Dallison on the basis that he's not a natural left back, but you wouldn't necessarily have thought it because he's so comfortable there when he plays.
Someone who was struggling to get into the side at the start of the season, but sort of forged his way in up to play typically. Has done a solid job at left back. Harry, who are you going for?
Yeah, I'm actually going to go someone else, which probably shows it's good in just how many players have been performing well. I actually think probably Jordan Tunnicliffe deserves a big push for this.
I think I would go for
It's under the radar, the job he does, and we said at the top of the show just how much in the wars he's been in. If there's anyone that deserves a break, it really is him. Chucks his body into everything. You feel really comfortable with him there. And I don't think there's too many other centre-halves in the league that could come into a League Two team and have the impact that he has.
My player of the month would have been Danny Bullman. I just think he's been superb. Yeah, not really. So he hasn't played. So tell us who won the vote on Twitter.
The winner does go to my vote. It was Glenn Morris who won Player of the Month.
He rigged it. This is the man that tweeted about our lovely new goals.
I've already threatened to go to war with the fans on Twitter. So
go to war with me. No, yeah, Glenn. I think he probably deserves to be Player of the Month most months. You can't always vote for him because there's always one standout player. But I can't really name a game this season where I've gone, oh Glenn, like what are you doing? Like
Uh-oh.
No.
Oh no! On the set.
We're all right. We're safe. The filming company. Look, what are those brown stains there, lads? Panicking. Let's move swiftly on.
Yeah.
Let's go. I believe we've got a montage having a look at the goals of the month nominations. Let's have a look at those. Very memorable goals there, Sam. Tell us who is the winner.
So the winner is goal B, Nick Cerula against Leeds, and well, you can't really complain with that, can you? Sorry, I'm so on edge. I just hear like any flick.
It was the perfect goal of the month nomination, wasn't it? Yeah. It was the story behind Nick Cerula, the timing 0-0 on Premier League Leeds. And then obviously the game itself, absolutely perfect. Harry, no complaints, can there?
No, it's a goal that I think, it's very cringy to say. No, Crawley fans will remember that one forever, but it's going to be a standout one for a long time to come, and it couldn't happen to such a nice lad, and it's such a great goal as well. Everything you touch on, the occasion, the background to Nick, but just the standalone goal itself was class.
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose it sort of epitomises what we've been able to do this season, isn't it? Bringing in a few younger players who have sort of come from nowhere. Nick Cerula, no one expected a huge amount. I think didn't he sign the same day as Max Watson?
Yeah. It was Cheltenham away. We announced it live. You announced it live on Talk of the Town.
Oh, I remember.
And and some of the comments are, just another two.
He couldn't even say his name. And I said to John, I was like, Nick? Who's his name? Nick.
Yeah. We just call him Nick the Greek. It's what nobody says. Yeah, no, but we had a few comments that day. Oh, yeah, good to just another couple of squad players. You wouldn't have thought that 13 games later, or however many it was, one's gone for 1 million, and then one scored that goal against Leeds. It was quite incredible. But there's the other nominations. It's probably one of the hottest goal of the months we've had. Like, I know we lost, but Jake Hessenthaler against Cambridge, very well worked goal. That flip back from Nico. I think they even made it on Soccer Saturday this morning of their little goal boats. George Frankham away at Bolton. That was just worth it on how cold it was, just to get up and celebrate for a minute
as well.
Just for 1 minute, just to be absolutely delighted with it. And the last one was Naddison against Leeds as well. So
hopefully, with so many games in February, there'll be plenty of goals to choose from.
Be
plenty of nominees
jam-packed,
for
hopefully.
the round. I don't know how many games we have in February. But
5, is it?
A lot.
Home games.
We've got 5 home games in February.
Something like that. Yeah, we've got.
We've got a lot because we've had Stevenage rearranged, obviously.
And obviously we go to Carlisle next week. You looking forward to that one, Sam?
Oh, can't wait to wake up at about 5 o'clock in the morning.
Never mind, there's loads of people watching who would be desperate to go to that game.
It is true.
You do take it for granted. It's always a laugh. You always think when you get a long away game, but then when you get there, you're like, yeah, this is fun. This is good, and you wouldn't change it for the world, really.
Now you're rubbing it in, so you can't win.
Well, yeah, so,
so we're gonna round up here, Sam. You're welcome to stay, or if you've got other things to do,
I better get back. Apparently, I'm on PA duty today, so I better go and get tested for that.
Enjoy.
Go well.
See you later. All the best. Take care.
Something I've just noticed, probably worth because Crawley fans can't really see what's going on on the pitch at the moment, and the question marks over Tom Dallison. It seemed like he was going for a little bit of a fitness test just on his own, doing a few drills, doing a few headers and little sprints and stuff, which maybe poses the question as to is he carrying a little bit of a knock, which is why it's the changes come.
A little bit like Mal was saying there about Jack Muldoon, about how it's important to look
Hal,
after
his name is.
Hal?
Hal.
I thought it was Mal.
No, Hal. H-A-L.
How do you remember
Apologise.
that? I'm very sorry. I spent most of my time in this barrier apologising. I'm very sorry, Hal. Yes, it's as Hal was saying about resting Jack Muldoon. I suppose if Dallow isn't 100% fit, we need to
he can't start.
Get him out, and otherwise it could be lasting effect.
Exactly. The last thing you want is for him to start when he's 75% or something like that, and do a, God forbid, do an injury that Reece Gregor-Cox might. So he's going to be like a new signing when he comes back. He's been out that long. Yeah,
I hope we need to get Reece on. We're talking about actually. We'll try and get Reece on the show here.
Next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
What a boost! It was lovely to see. I think the video it caught a few fans off guard as to oh my God, Reece is close to coming back, and probably by looking at the time frame of when he's going to be back involved, he's going to be coming back in at a good time, and it will be like a new signing. And if last couple of games we scored one in our last couple of league games. Could we do with another attacking threat to come into the squad? We probably could, and
it'll be like a new signing, won't it?
We saw he was on an upward trend when he got injured, and it's probably he was on a run of games that was his best spell in his time at Crawley.
Yeah, that'll be like a new signing. We look forward to seeing him back. I think we are close to wrapping up here. Harry, thank you very much.
Pleasure
for joining us again. I'm not actually staying for the game. I've got a 4th birthday party.
But you will be watching on iFollow.
No, I won't be. I'll be honest. I won't be. I won't be. I mean, when you've got a 4th birthday party, only 4 people are allowed to attend. Yeah. If one person doesn't bother showing up and they sit in the living room, then it's not much of a party.
But you will be back at Carlisle.
Of course, I will be. I didn't let you down, did I? I ignored Ken's advice to Mo, and I've turned up here this afternoon to do a shift. I'm not going gardening, as Matt Cowdery said. I've gone for a more casual look today. I'm going gardening. That's not very nice. So yes, I won't be watching today, but obviously we hope the Reds do well. We'll be back away at Carlisle next week. Harry and myself are taking the long journey up to Carlisle, so you can join us at Brunton Park next week if we survive this shooting drill. Finally, I've said it a few times, Mr. Declutter, our main sponsors, huge thank you to them for sponsoring the show. You can support them, 20% off garage clearances. So if you are posh enough to have a garage, get it cleared by Mr. Why waste the space? Why clutter it up? Mr. Declutter will come and clear it. Quote Crawley Town Football Club when you either call them or email them. All their details are fine online. 20% off from them. Huge thanks to the filming company who you can tell I've finished a little bit early, can't you? I'm just rolling off a thank you. It's like an end of season awards speech. Huge thank you to the filming company who have joined us once again and delivered yet another top show. Much better than Tuesdays. Much better than Tuesday. You're very welcome, everyone. Much stronger performance. Hopefully the Reds get the win. Interesting to see Mark Wright how he gets on this afternoon. Got a few minutes. Make yourself a cup of tea or grab yourself a Ballers. Yes, another ad in there. Whoop! Grab yourself a Ballers. You've got a few minutes. Just Eat, Uber Eats. They'll deliver to your door. Other than that, all that's left for us to say is... Come on, you Reds!